So I feel so sad. I feel so disappointed that our democracy is not growing in the direction we expected it to grow, in the direction that will bring development to the country. You mentioned 400 cases. I can tell you, Ruben, that they are the ones that are yet to be decided. Some have been decided. There are over 560 cases, election petitions, all across the country. And what it now means is that National Assembly, you have 469 members on the whole, and you are looking at over 550 cases. That means an average of more than one case per legislative seat at the federal level. So,
welcome to Politics on the Wheel with Jay, and this is INEC TV. The inconsistency of the Independent National Electoral Commission is the reason why the democracy in Nigeria is not moving forward. From 1999 to date, since the return of democracy in Nigeria, we have had a lot of inconsistency from the Independent National Electoral Commission. And since the return of democracy, there have been no election conducted in Nigeria that have not been disputed by any party that participated in that particular election. From the presidential election to the gubernatorial election to the National Assembly election, even down to the state elections. Each year that the INEC conducts an election, there must be a dispute from one party or the other. And then this is not an exception to 2023 general election, as His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar of PDP and Labour Party and PDP, I beg your pardon, challenged the decision of INEC to announce Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president of Nigeria, despite scoring, not even getting 25% in Abuja, not scoring, according to INEC, they said they got a majority vote, but with a lot of irregularities in some states, where in some states people were not allowed to vote. In some local governments, results that have been announced have been upturned, and all those evidences are before them. When questions were asked, they asked them to go to courts. And this is something that I said, and people keep saying that even in the century to come, people will still be referring to 2023 general election as one of the most, flawless election ever conducted in Nigeria. Abu spent over 300 billion naira in this election. Here is a reactions of a lawyer who talks about how INEC has failed Nigeria and have taken Nigeria from, being a democratic nation going forward to what may looks like a democracy that is no longer functionable in Nigeria.
So I feel so sad. I feel so disappointed that our democracy is not growing in the direction we expected it to grow, in the direction that will bring development to the country. You mentioned 400 cases. I can tell you, Ruben, that they are the ones that are yet to be decided. Some have been decided. There are over 560 cases, election petitions, all across the country. And what it now means is that National Assembly, you have 469 members on the whole, and you are looking at over 550 cases. That means an average of more than one case per legislative seat at the federal level. So what's the implication? The implication is that INEC has failed Nigerians so woefully, so massively woefully, that you now begin to doubt whether the votes of the people count anymore. You now begin to doubt what is the whole essence of bragging or spending over 350 billion naira in conducting an election that will end up in court, and more expenses will be incurred because INEC has to come and defend. In all cases, INEC is a party to the cases. And above all, recall that apart from the budgetary allocation from Nigeria, there were also contributions by development partners all around the world, with the hope that our election is going to set the pace for Africa in the direction of civil democracy. Now, not only that money is lost, precious legislative time is also lost. Election will take 180 days. Appeal will now come. In some cases, there will be a rerun, which the court will say, conduct a rerun within 90 days. That's another 3 months. So give and take, 1 full year, we go into post-election issues, litigation, and the rest of them, which will distract the legislators from doing their work. They have only 1 year is gone out of 4 years that they have been elected to serve. The next 2 years will be the only years that they will work, because the year penultimate to their next election, politicians will now go back and begin to prepare for the next election of 2027. So what it now means is that we have a 4-year tenure, but we have 2 years of active work. And that is why a lot of the laws that are yearning to be touched are not yet to touched. A lot of the laws that are even touched are now hurriedly churned out, that they bring a lot of confusion into the system. We jubilated when 2022 Electoral Act was signed into law, but only for us to find out that there are still so many loopholes about issues relating to INEC guidelines and the rest of them that we are not adequately captured in the Electoral Act. So the implication is that our democracy is not moving on the direction of growth and development. If at the end of the day, virtually all the election issues will end up in court. Not only that, it is engaging the judges. For National Assembly elections alone, you are looking at 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. That is 37 petition panels that will sit, 3 in each one. You are looking at 101 judges sitting in petition at the Court of First Instance. And now more justices will now sit at the level of the tribunal, at the level of the appeal. Many issues that are yearning for attention in the courts are stagnated because the judges are facing election matters. So how does it affect inflow of investment? A foreign investor who wants to come in and finds out that when you have matter in Nigerian court, it will drag for ages before being resolved. Pure civil matter that ordinarily will be resolved timeously is not resolved. Our alternative dispute resolution mechanism is not well firmed up because there are many issues that when you even get an award from the alternative dispute resolution mechanism, you don't get to harvest the fruit of your award. You now still have to go back to litigation. So many things I can tell you need to be attuned, need to be fine-tuned, so that our election will be determined at the point of polling and not everything being emptied into the course of law.
So that is it. If we're going to have a strong democracy in Nigeria, then we have to, strengthen our institution. And to have our institution being strengthening, then we have to get people that are competent, not people like Mahmoud Yakubu, whom we ask party agents and all of that to go to court, knowing fully well that nothing will come out of the court. A democratic election is something that the will of the people prevail over the will of some few individuals. But when you come to Nigeria, it becomes the will of the few individual prevailing over the will of the masses. And that can be seen completely in the 2023 general election. What do you think about this? Please do well to drop your comments and as well share this video to reach a larger audience. Thank you.